perception matters.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And in this case, where it's the commissioner of police, there's a perception that there's a close relationship between the commissioner and at least one or both of the Khan brothers. Isn't that a situation where you should have, at least to protect the integrity of the investigation, deal with that perception of bias?
That is information that was in the public domain and known by authorities.
No, but you took no steps to act on that information, did you?
Not personally.
You were and still remain the second highest ranking officer in the Guyana police force.
Yes.
And if the commissioner is unethical or acting unethical, you have a duty to act, don't you?
Not in all instances.
I'm going to suggest that you do in all instances to protect the integrity of the force and the person serving under you and the public perception.
Suggestion noted, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Those are my questions.
Could I just push in one question?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman. I'm asking to.
You said you've seen.
Mr. Chan, please, again, with our mic on.
You said, you spoke specifically, you saw Imran Khan in the commissioner's conference.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever seen Nizam Khan with the commissioner?
No, I've not.
You have never seen Nizam Khan with the commissioner?
No, I haven't. No.
Maybe I know you, Mr. Ramnarine. Do I know your brother? If you have one.
I don't.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Ram?
Thank you, Mr. Ramnarine. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
You said, I may not have heard if this question was answered because I had.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Feel free.
Did you submit a written statement to this commission?
No.
Why not? Were you requested to do so by the commission?
No.
Did you think it necessary to submit a
If so requested, I would do that.
But you didn't think it necessary to do one on your own initiative?
No.
You said that the person who reported the plot spoke of adverse attention. Did you inquire what that adverse attention was?
That is to say that when he had gone to the police station that's Gillard in question, had gone to the station, particularly at Grove, to make his complaints, the police would not give the matter the kind of attention, you know, the speedy response, professional action.
That, sir, as adverse attention?
In the sense that if they were to take the proper course of action, the professionalism of the force would be maintained. And when they don't take the appropriate and correct course of action and treat all reports in the manner they ought to be treated, it does bring adverse remarks and complaints. And so I deem it to be harmful to the image of the force when they don't respond professionally.
But this was a different issue now, sir.
Yeah.
Changing the story from one of the image of the force to adverse attention to the complainant.
When I said adverse attention, I think I was speaking in general terms. Yes, I'm not personalizing it, that is to say.
You wish to restate for the
Yeah.
benefit of the records what you would have said had you not made that mistaken assumption?
That'd be okay. I don't have a...
What would be okay, sir?
If I were to now say that the adverse attention I speak of was in general terms, and as I explained, that when a report is made at a station and ranks do not take the proper course of action or do not give it any attention, it does bring about.
So this is nothing to do with the particular complaint and the complainant?
No. No.
Thank you, sir.
Not personalizing it.
You've been a policeman for, I think, decades? Or
Yes, sir.
probably approaching decades.
27 years.
Oh, decades indeed. Would you say a delayed reporting of any matter would be of some interest to an investigator?
Yes.
And how would you rate a delay of an investigation of a complaint on an incident that took place, as you said, 21 months earlier?
It raises a lot of questions immediately. Veracity, you deal with impact. This is not a recent matter. This origin is some 1 year and something ago. What is this going on here? Whose interest does this serve? Is this real? And particularly from a background where the two characters in question, that is Gillard and Nizam Khan, had a very close relationship. They lived next door to each other, if I recall, walked through one another's yard and all these things and so on. So it raises a host of questions which puts you into the thinking that you really,
And as the Deputy Commissioner of Police, and from time to time, persons ordered to carry out or appointed to carry out the functions of the Commissioner of Police, can you say whether you know Mr. Gillard had any brushes with the law?
At that time, it was reported to me that he hadn't. At the time, that's when he made the complaint or the allegation. And some weeks after, when a request was made of me by an authority for what we would call background checks to be done and submitted, I also observed on that written form that he may have been charged with, if I recall, a traffic violation, not any criminal.
That's the only one you're aware of?
Yes, at the time, yes.
You're not aware of any other
No.
incident?
No.
And that information you're relaying would be official information from the police records?
Yes, sir.
You indicated significant surprise about the release of persons against whom a report was made, and another in relation to an incident at the CID headquarters. Did you inquire into the circumstances of the other incident involving Mr. Imran Khan?
Which other incident, sir?
Do you know that Mr. Imran Khan, you said he was arrested and taken into custody on the night of the 29th of March?
Nizam Khan.
Okay, thank you. You were at that stage acting as Commissioner of Police.
Yes, sir.
If someone is released and in your judgment that person poses a threat to any issue concerning security, individual state, tampering with evidence, anything, was it in your power to order the rearrest of the person?
Not in the circumstances.
Is it in your power in any circumstances to order the rearrest of anyone?
Yes.
So you could have done it in this case?
I would have not ordered the rearrest in this case, based on the explanation
You
given to
could
me.
have done it. That's my question.
No.
Why not?
I didn't see the need to do it.
That
Based
doesn't
on,
answer the question.
based on the
Whether-
explanation given to me by the crime chief.
I'm saying you had the power to do it.
Yes.
Good. But you did not do it.
There was no need for me to do it.
Good. You said that your instructions to the crime chief were that no efforts were to be spared Is
Yes.
that correct?
That's correct.
Can you tell this commission whether efforts were spared in the carrying out of those investigations?
What I learned after about phone calls
If you
made,
answer my question yes or no, and then you provide the explanation.
in totality, not every, there was lacking. It was lacking.
Okay. Can you specify?
To the extent,
Let me finish the question.
okay.
Can you specify the extent or the degree to which efforts were lacking and what those efforts were?
Particularly as it relates to the release of the cans, the order, any order that had to do with putting the cans on bail at that point in time should have been disobeyed.
May I remind you that just a moment ago, you only knew of one can. Now you're speaking of two cans. Anyway, go on, sir.
I'm
Go on,
saying
sir.
after I learned.
Go on, sir. Well, you're
Okay.
here now.
Right.
So you know there were two cans.
After. The first can I knew about, and then sometime
Tell us about the
after.
steering of these efforts.
Yes. The fact that they were released the very afternoon indicates a lack of serious effort.